I'm Stacey Zinn Roberts, and I'm the host of Live Your Passion. I'm also the author of the new book, How to Live Your Passion and Fulfill Your Dreams. It's available now on Amazon. And our guest today is someone I've known since I was in the 6th grade. Her name is Ilene Steinberg. I love her. I know you will too. Her story is so unusual and so cool that I had to bring her to you. Ilene helps families with an unusual problem that a lot of people don't talk about. And her service is so absolutely crucial that I want her to share it with you. Okay? So, welcome, Ilene Steinberg.
Thank you. Hello, Stacey.
Hi, Ilene. It's so good to see you.
Likewise, likewise.
Thank you. And so how I would like to start the show, Ilene, is if you will tell everybody the story that you told me, how you changed your life one year when you were working at a summer camp. Can you share that story?
I'd love to. Well, I have 4 children, and how do you get 4 children to overnight camp? Well, my pediatrician owns an overnight camp, and she said, someday you're going to come work for me at my camp. Well, my youngest was a year and a half old, and my oldest was 9, which was the perfect time to start camp. So we headed off to camp that summer, and we were deep into the throes of summer, and I was learning all my campers' names and all my counselors' names. And one day we were at the pool, and the health center came up to me quietly and said, one of your campers is having an issue, and we're going to have to do something about it. So I'm going to show you what to do, and then you need to check your division. And my division was 54 girls and 27 counselors.
Wow.
So, the issue was head lice. One of my campers had lice. And she was scratching and itching, and nobody realized it. She went to the health center because she had a rash on her neck, and sure enough, she had lice. So I got my composure, and I went up to the girls, and I told them they have to line up, and I made it really fun because I didn't know what to say to them. And the first head I checked was infested with lice, and the second head I checked was infested with lice. The first 7 heads that I checked had lice, and that was one bunk, and that was one of the bunks that the girl that was itchy, she found out she had it. So out of, I think it was 11 girls in that bunk, 8 of them had lice. I went through the rest of my division, and I had a total of 14 cases of lice in my division. So being that it was my pediatrician that owned the camp, she told us, you know, what we needed to do to take care of it. So we started treating all these girls. I did most of it on my own, which was a daunting task. I definitely had help, but I felt like the responsibility was mine because they were my daughters for the summer. Yeah. And everything that the pediatrician told us to do, we were finding live bugs and more nits. So we were not treating it properly. Whatever we were following the instructions, but what we were using wasn't working. So 3 weeks into rounds and rounds of treatments and combing and picking, we decided it was time to get the prescription. So the pediatrician called all the parents, got the prescription, and we put the prescription on their heads at 10 o'clock at night. And at 8 o'clock the next morning, we started combing, and we found live bugs again.
Oh, no.
So that obviously wasn't working either. So I went to the route of just nitpicking the girls 24/7 for the rest of, I think it was 2 more weeks of camp. And that to me was an overwhelming experience, but not something I ever expected to do because I don't like bugs.
No. I mean, you're a girly girl from Northeast Philly. This isn't something that you would have thought you would have become an expert at. So tell me the rest of the story. You got back home after, and what did you learn?
Well, I got home after camp, And camp is pretty intense. So when you come home and you get to feel carpet on your toes and you get to snuggle with your kids and air conditioning on soft, comfy beds, we were really kind of just enjoying each other. And I got a phone call from my pediatrician and boss at camp, and she said, I'm getting phone calls from patients that have lice, and I'm not confident in what I can tell them will work. Can I give out your phone number? Well, really what and then she said, can I give out your number so that you can help these moms? And I have the utmost respect for my pediatrician, and if she's asking me to go help moms, then I am empowered. Of course I will. And so I went to somebody's home that afternoon, and her daughter was coming home from camp, and she had lice. And the camp told her that she had lice, that she was coming home with a case of lice. So I went to their house, armed with the experience that I had, but all I knew was how to pick and comb. And so I showed up at their house, and I worked on this girl for a couple of days over the course of about 10 days, 2 weeks, and she was fine, and nobody else in her house got lice. But this girl, this mom, was so grateful for my help, and in her circles, a lot of kids were coming home from other camps, and they also had lice. But their camps were not so forthcoming, and a lot of these kids were sent home without being told that somebody in their bunk had lice or that there was cases of lice in camp. So about 2 or 3 weeks after kids were arriving home, right before they were starting school, my phone started to ring, and I was going to people's homes. And I did that for several years. Of course, I started to get comfortable with it and more comfortable with the way I'd like to do things, but I would go into people's homes and they had different products that they ordered and different tools. There's an electric comb, there's different products to use, there's actually methods that you can get off of the internet. I was willing to try anything that was safe, and I did try an awful lot of the processes and products that people had ordered. And through those processes, I started to evolve to create a process that I felt was the most efficient and practical and also safe.
Okay. And does that include a chemical treatment too? Didn't you develop something eventually that is a product that helps?
I did. I developed something that's very, very safe. So every step of the way, I was checking in with, I have a few pediatrician friends and a dermatologist, and I would check in with them periodically and say, hey, what do you know about this? Do people have allergic reactions to this or to that? And they would tell me, this is not so good, or I wouldn't bother with that, or yeah, there's not many known allergies to something like olive oil. I love olive oil. It's very good for your skin and it's good for your hair, but it doesn't eliminate all of the bugs. So as much as I liked using olive oil because it was safe, it needed help. So I found a mixture of stuff, and I'm a pastry chef, so I create recipes. So and they say if you're in a kitchen, a professional kitchen, they say that the baker is the chemist of the kitchen. So just by adding and taking out certain ingredients, you make something chewy or soft or fluffy or flat. And that experience I took into the treatments that I was producing, and I came up with something that was very safe and very helpful and consistently would eliminate bugs. And when people say they bring work home, I used to bring work home. If I had somebody with a lot of live activity, I would comb it out and put it in a Ziploc bag and come right home, and on a white paper plate or a white poster board, I would do testing. And a lot of lice were definitely fatally harmed in my testing, and approval of just about everybody on the planet. And I did. I came up with a wonderful product that helped thousands and thousands of people, and it's safe, and it's, I'm very, very proud of the fact that I've been able to help so many moms, really families, deal with it, because when I would walk into somebody's home, people often called me after 3 to 5 rounds of failed treatment.
Oh my God.
And they don't really want me there. They wanted to get rid of their problem. And I make it fun. I show up with movies and snacks. When I was before I had to quit my day job to take care of Lice 24/7, I was in a kitchen as a baker, and I would show up in a chef uniform with cookies in my hand to help people. But even sometimes over the phone, just talking to people, they would calm down and feel like, okay, I have a solution here. And then, of course, when I would show up and direct, all the head checks of whoever was there and be able to, clear people and treat people and get it all under control with a concise plan, that's what I created in the service and in the products.
It's a beautiful thing, Ilene, because this is something that is really, it's a squeamish subject, but there's also a stigma. If you think that somebody has head lice, you think that they're dirty, that there's something wrong, and that's not really true, is it?
It's not. I like to say that lice like the sweetest people. So if you are chosen by lice, then you are definitely very, very sweet. It happens to, it's actually the contrary. If you don't wash your hair and you don't mess with your hair or comb it a lot, your lice can be on the earlier end of a gestation period, which is 7 to 10 days of when things hatch or when they're mature. And if you do not disturb the environment, then they're going to have a longer time to play and longer time to be in the perfect environment. So a lot of people think that if they don't wash their kids' hair for a couple of days, that they are safer. If you have hair, you can get lice, no matter what your race is, no matter socioeconomic background. Head-to-head contact and hair if you have head-to-head contact with somebody that has live activity, then you can get lice.
And so in a camp situation, in a school situation, when kids are sitting close to each other, they put their heads together. This is how this happens. It's not that anybody did anything wrong.
Correct. And the School Nursing Association says, they claim that kids in school are less likely to get lice from each other. It's more on play dates and sleepovers. While that's true, kids do put their heads together in school, and it happens often. Any parent, I challenge them to watch their children play, and they put their heads together all the time. In science, if they're looking through a little looking glass as a magnifying glass, 3 heads could be stuck together very quickly. Just leaning back in your chair to a kid that's back to back with you, I've seen that happen. It's very innocent. They don't realize it. And then, of course, we have selfies. We're taking a lot of pictures and a lot of heads get together. Selfies are not a new thing, so I don't think that there's that is enough to say that there are more cases of lice. It just increases the opportunity for people to have head-to-head contact.
How big of a problem is it, Ilene? Do you have some numbers just to share?
The numbers that I'll share with you are, I don't think, updated numbers, but it is typically what they've been saying for about a decade. Okay. 6 to 12 million people in the U.S. get lice every year. Now, there's no reporting on how many people get lice because it's not a medical issue. So it's not, like a meningitis situation where you have to call the health department. Mm-hmm. So they are basing that number off of product sales. And a lot of people are buying product to treat. A lot of people are buying product thinking that they have something and they don't. And then people are not always buying product to treat. So that's the basis of the number that has been out for about I would say a decade, but in Europe, the number is approximately 12 million people a year. I'm sorry, 20 million people a year get lice in Europe. Middle East, it's very high. India, China, Canada. So we're talking, there's a lot of lice out there. But like you said, with the stigma, people don't talk about it. And that really needs to shift, and it needs to change. And that's part of my mission to help families, is to communicate and deal with it.
Well, let's talk about that. What tools have you developed? You know, you created the product. It's Kapow, correct, is the product?
Yes. Okay. Kapow, Lice Attack Solution. We have a battle kit. The battle kit is designed really to be a prevention product. So we have a detangling mint spray. Lice do not like several odors. Mint is one of the odors that they do not like. And mint is safe to use every day. There are some products that people believe, like tea tree oil and citronella, not so sure that they're safe to use every day on the scalp. Scalp absorbs a lot. So we want to be very careful what we're putting on our head and our hair. And so really the kit is designed to be almost like a box of Band-Aids in your house. So you have your daily deterrent spray, which is also a great leave-in conditioner and a great detangler, and I developed it at camp with all my naughty little girls. Naughty, not naughty, they're very good, but they were very naughty hair. So it's a great detangler, but it's a good deterrent as well. And it also comes with the knit comb that I use, and that's NIT, and that's what combs out the lice eggs, which are called nits. And if people do a weekly head check, I do them, we do them on Facebook, so people can be reminded and follow along with us on Facebook. If you do a weekly head check on your kids and learn how to do that, which we also have videos on our website to learn how to do that, then if anybody does get lice, they're going to stop the outbreak before it travels on to more friends or family. So by doing a simple head check on a regular basis, we'll control lice outbreaks in a family and potentially in a community.
That's wonderful stuff. Now, you mentioned that you do this on education on Facebook. Let's start there and then go to the rest of your educational materials. Where should people go on Facebook to learn about your weekly head check?
We are at centerforlicecontrol.com. That's our website. And Facebook is also Center for Lice Control on Facebook.
Okay, and then your website has a wealth of information. It's just kind of a library of all kinds of stuff. What else should people know or do to protect their family? Well,
the best thing on the website, and we're actually updating the website again, just to keep relevant and answer to making it easy and usable. We have great pictures, great comparison photos on the website. If you go to Lice Facts, you really can see the comparison of what nits look like and what different stage of lice are, and to learn the life cycle so that when you are faced with dealing with a case of lice, that you know the life cycle and you can beat the life cycle. That's really the key. The other thing is we have an anonymous email notification, which I originally put in place so that moms can share the information if their school is not sharing it, but they don't have to out themselves. If it was a difficult community that everybody's very squirrely about lice, they don't have to say, oh, we were the one. You can send an anonymous email. But recently I've been meeting more parents that are more willing to share it, that they did have lice and that everybody should check. And the nice thing is the email comes with our website so that people are directed to good, solid information, not the lice hysteria that is often put out there on the internet. And then the other thing that I also have, which I've been very busy doing and I love, is people will take pictures of what they find and they send it to me. They can either text it to me, which the number is 324-5661, or they can also email it to me at Ilene, with an I-L-E-N-E, Steinberg, at centerforlicecontrol.com. And then I look at what they've found. If I need a better picture, I message them right back. Often what I find is sweater, the lint from a sweater or something from the playground, or it could look like sand. But I always respond quickly and let them know what it is that they're looking at, and if they need to take action or if they need to relax and not worry right now.
Thank goodness. And you operate out of the Philadelphia area. You have, did I read that there were 10 centers now, Ilene?
Well, that was my old company.
Okay.
I started, so to go back to my history, I was helping families and treating them. I didn't even have time to put a business card together because I had the 2 jobs and my 4 children and my great husband. And I ended up bartering with a family of a lot of kids, and I treated a lot of the family, and they really could not afford to be professionally treated. And often when that happens, I make a deal with the family, either to write a good recommendation about the service or help me somehow by telling friends. And in this particular case, the mom made me a business card. So I have my first business card. So I ended up opening up a treatment center because I was getting 3-4 calls a day, and I physically couldn't go to all these different homes and deal with the situation. Plus, it was nice to have other people with me helping, other technicians. So I opened up a treatment center with a partner, and we were very successful. In the first 6 months, we helped so many thousands of people, and we ended up franchising within the next year and a half 10 treatment centers in the area. Wow. Between Connecticut, New Jersey, North New Jersey, and all over eastern Pennsylvania and Delaware. We helped many, many people, and it was really wonderful. But I felt like I wasn't really educating or connecting with people. We were definitely the Band-Aid to the problem, but I felt like when the mom was sitting in the chair and she was being treated, or her family was being checked and she didn't know what was up yet, I didn't have her full attention. My passion to educate and to rescue families before this is an issue, before lice finds their whole family, became bigger than what I was doing. And no matter how big the company got, I still always felt like there's more to this. Mm-hmm. So I sold the treatment centers to my partner, and I moved on to create the Center for Lice Control, and the product is Kapow. Kapow is an action word, and to deal with lice, it's all about action, to being proactive, to doing your regular head checks, and then, of course, that if you do find something, to roll up your sleeves, understand what you're doing, and get it done, and not not so labor intensive. Do it, efficiently and precisely and safely. So it became, the education program became really my focus, to educate the families. But the parents.
I think you're heading right towards the question that I ask every guest each week is, as you know, Ilene, I created the What's Your Avocado concept that says that everyone has something about them that's special, and we call that unique element your avocado. So the key to a happy life is to find your avocado and act on it and express it in the world. Now for you, this was a complete surprise, but it seems to me this has become your avocado. Can you tell me what you think is your avocado, and what the avocado moment was when you knew what you were supposed to do? Take me there.
I actually have 2 avocado moments. One was when we combed out those live bugs at camp after treating with the prescription pesticide, and it didn't work. I had a good half hour of I've been defeated. And then I gathered myself and I said, I can't be defeated by this. It's been around for a million years. It's nobody's fault. I can handle this. And I picked myself up, I brushed myself off, and I walked back into the bunk with the girls, and I said, let's order some pizza and deal with this. And I made it fun, and I turned it around. And the girls, some of those girls look back and say it was their best summer. It was a very tough summer for me, but I definitely look back, and I'm very grateful for being there and having my eyes wide open and wanting to help them, and in turn it created such a big opportunity for me. And my second avocado moment was there was a mom that came into the treatment center for the third time over 2 years, and she still didn't know what lice looked like. And I said, what's wrong with that? This isn't working. But the daughter knew. Mm-hmm. She was now in 4th grade. She knew what it looked like. She knew what it felt like, because the itch is a little bit different. If you've had it more than once, you'll say, aha, I know the itch. And the daughter knew what was going on. So I started thinking, and it took me a couple of days, and then I had this aha moment that parents, although we're great at a lot of things, we're not good at this, but the kids are. So I need to get to the kids. Through the kids, I hope that we can educate the families. So we created Kapow, who is a superhero, and we have a cartoon and a coloring book, and we go into schools and we teach the kids about lice, and we empower them to say, I need a head check. And once they come home and they tell their parents, we need a head check, now it's a different lice situation. Mm-hmm. Now the kids understand, the parents have the information, they have the communication tools. So, you know, I had really 2 wonderful aha moments, and I'm just grateful that my eyes were open enough to embrace it, because it's pretty gross.
It is pretty gross, but the whole thing is that you took a really difficult situation and turned it into something that you could use to help people forever. You're educating people. You created a product that will stop this. It's a really big deal, Ilene. It's a really big deal. And I know that this is your passion. And as you know, this show is called Live Your Passion. What advice would you give to other people to help them live their passion, especially if, as you said, it's kind of gross or an outside-the-box type of an idea?
Keep your eyes wide open and try new things and put yourself out there. Part of it is, in my family, we say it's creating memories, but you never know what that will be the standout for you, that will become your passion. And then once you figure that out, then it's important for you to take it to wherever you think it can go. Make sure you do good research and talk to people and create the passion and be authentic. Because if you aren't yourself and you aren't truthful and honest with yourself, people are smart. They can see it, and they can see right through it. So that's, you know, I'm really honored to be able to say that, because definitely when we were little, I never thought that this is what I was going to end up doing. And quite honestly, 10 years ago, I never thought that this is what I would end up doing. But I'm so grateful, very grateful for lice.
Well, I'm just so proud of you, Ilene. I'm so proud of what you're doing, and all the families that you're helping, I'm sure, just feel the same way. It's great. It's a gross issue, but it's so important. So let's make sure that people know how to get in touch with you. Give us all of your contact information again, please.
Okay. So the centerforlicecontrol.com is the website.
Yep.
We also have Center for Lice Control on Facebook and Pinterest.
Okay.
You can also follow me on Twitter at Ilene Lice Queen.
Now that's taking it, making it your own. Ilene Lice
Queen. I am the queen of getting rid of lice. We also have another Twitter, which is CLC Kapow. That's Captain Kapow's own personal. And can I show the kit that we created?
Please do, please do.
The battle kit. So this is the battle kit. You have the detangler spray, and this is the lice attack solution. Hopefully you never need this, and it has a very long shelf life. But if you're doing your head checks and you are and you actually do find something, or your child gets sent home from school that they actually have lice, then this is what you use. And it works very quickly. It's incredibly safe. And you use it 2 more times. You use it a total of 3 times over the life cycle of the louse. And then back in there is, can you see that?
Yeah.
That is the comb back in there. And that is the comb that just about every professional nitpicker, which is what I am, this is the comb that they use. So, and it has great instructions on the back, and we also have wonderful video instructions on the website, and more video instructions to come.
And people can buy the kit through the centerforlicecontrol.com. That's how they work. Okay.
We have a store on the website, and also a few local stores in my area on the main line. There's Gladwin Pharmacy, Babis Pharmacy, Baderwood Pharmacy in Jenkintown, and a salon in Ardmore called J2, and we just added another pharmacy which will be on the website soon. I think it's called Overhill Pharmacy and Media.
Perfect. So, and you need not be in the Philadelphia area to benefit from Eileen's expertise. We will post all of your contact information, a link to buy the battle kit, and everything on the liveyourpassiontv.com website. You will have your own dedicated page, and people can find you. Eileen, thank you so much. It has been a great pleasure to have you on the show today.
Thank you, Stacy, and I'm so grateful to be a part of Find Your Avocado. I love it. What's your avocado? I love avocados, so perfect feeling. The name gives a perfect feeling, and I'm very excited to be a part of your empowering other women and families.
Thank you so much. And I would like to just show the book again, How to Live Your Passion and Fulfill Your Dreams. Oh, it's backwards. It is now available on Amazon.com and in print and Kindle. I'm Stacy Zinn Roberts. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye.
Bye.